All right, so we're diving into the world of telecommunications engineering today. You've clearly got this field on your radar, and you even sent over some awesome material from RoleCatcher to help guide us.
They really are a great resource.
Yeah, it's like they've got a roadmap for every career out there.
It seems that way. From what the job's all about to trends, interview tips, salary info, it's a lot.
Okay, so telecommunications engineering. You're clearly someone who likes to stay connected. And from the looks of it, this field's just exploding with opportunities. But what's it actually like on a day-to-day basis? What does a telecommunications engineer actually do? Let's ditch the technical jargon for a second, try to really paint a picture.
Yeah, forget the jargon. Think of it this way. Telecommunications engineers, they're like the architects and the builders, right? They build the interconnected world.
Right.
Everything from like your smartphone to the internet, satellite communications, even radio broadcasts. It all depends on these guys.
So we're talking about the invisible infrastructure that keeps us all connected, basically.
Exactly.
RoleCatcher specifically mentioned radio and broadcasting equipment. What kind of work would an engineer be doing in that area?
Well, for radio and broadcasting, you'd be analyzing what the customer needs, then designing and actually implementing the system. And of course, making sure that all the equipment is up to code, meeting those industry regulations.
So they're the ones making sure my favorite radio station comes through loud and clear, or that the live TV broadcast doesn't cut out at a crucial moment. Sounds kind of high pressure, like lot riding on them being able to keep those signals strong.
It's fast-paced field, that's for sure. Got to be able to think on your feet, constantly solving problems, adapting to new challenges.
And it's not just about being a tech whiz, right? You're not just holed up in a server room all day. There's a big collaborative element to it as well.
Oh, absolutely. You need that strong technical background for sure. But telecommunications engineering, it's a team sport. You're working hand in hand with clients, figuring out what they need. You're talking to vendors to get the right equipment, teaming up with other engineers to design these complex systems.
So you need to be tech savvy and a people person.
100%. Good communication, interpersonal skills, all crucial for success.
Got it. Okay, so we've talked about what they do, but where does all this happen? What does the typical work environment look like for a telecommunications engineer?
Picture this, a mix of offices, labs, and yeah, maybe you'll see a server room or two. But here's where it gets really interesting. You might find yourself on site with clients.
Right. RoleCatcher mentioned travel being part of the job.
Oh yeah.
What are we talking about? Like, what kind of places could you end up?
Think about troubleshooting a network issue at a remote broadcasting station, nestled in the mountains somewhere. Or maybe you're overseeing the installation of some cutting-edge equipment in a busy city center.
Definitely sounds like you'd rack up some stories.
For sure.
Okay, we can't talk about work environments without mentioning remote work these days. Any possibility in this field?
Absolutely. Cloud-based technologies are huge, and remote collaboration tools are better than ever. So, yeah, a lot of telecommunications engineers have that flexibility to work remotely. Maybe not all the time, but some of it.
That's always good to hear. Sounds like there's some potential for a work-life balance in this field. Okay, before we jump into the skills and education side of things, let's zoom out a bit. What are some of the big trends shaping the future of telecommunications?
Well, this industry never sits still, but I'd say one of the most significant trends is the rollout of 5G networks. And 5G, it's more than just, oh, my downloads are faster. This is about connecting everything. It's enabling autonomous vehicles, smart cities. It's a big deal.
So 5G is going to revolutionize how we live and work, basically.
Exactly.
What else is on the horizon? Any other big trends?
Cloud computing is huge. Businesses are moving their operations to the cloud in droves. So naturally, the demand for telecommunications engineers who can design, implement, and manage these cloud systems skyrocketing.
It sounds like this field is only going to become more important.
No doubt about it. And with that growth, a ton of opportunities for those with the right skills.
So let's talk about those skills. What does it take to really thrive as a telecommunications engineer? What are some of those essential technical skills you just absolutely have to have?
Well, you need a strong foundation in electronics, computer science, that's a given. But to really excel, you got to speak the language of networks, right?
Okay, so break that down for me. What does that actually mean?
We're talking about understanding network protocols. That's how networks talk to each other. TCP/IP, routing protocols, all of that. You got to know how the data travels, how to make it go faster, how to fix it when it goes haywire.
Sounds like it takes a lot of keeping up. Technology moves so fast these days.
It does. A passion for learning, always leveling up your skills, that's key for any aspiring telecommunications engineer.
RoleCatcher seems to agree. They mentioned degrees in electrical engineering, telecommunications, computer science, even physics and math.
Solid foundations for sure.
But they stressed real-world experience too. What are we talking about there? What kind of stuff really makes a resume pop?
Yeah, it's one thing to ace the tests, but can you walk the walk? Employers want to see you've gotten your hands dirty. Maybe you've built your own network, tinkered with some open source projects, even done some hackathons.
Prove you can actually use the stuff, not just memorize it.
Exactly. Speaking of practical experience, let's talk certifications. Cisco certifications. Huge in this industry.
Right.
It's that stamp of approval. Shows you've got the skills employers are looking for.
Let's break that down a little. What's so special about Cisco, and what should people be going for?
Well, Cisco's like the big dog when it comes to networking tech, so their certifications carry weight. The Cisco Certified Network Associate, CCNA, that's a good place to start. It's like your foundation in networking. Then, as you gain experience, you can level up to the Cisco Certified Network Professional, or CCNP. There you can specialize maybe in security, wireless networking, stuff like that.
Okay, so those acronyms are important. I get it. Having Cisco certified on your resume, that's a big deal. Any other certifications worth looking at in this field?
Oh, yeah. Certified Wireless Network Professional, that's the CWNP, that's a good one, especially with how much wireless technology has exploded lately. And if you see yourself in more of a management role down the line, Project Management Professional Certification, the PMP, that could be a smart move.
So many acronyms, but it sounds like staying ahead of the game with certifications, it's key in this industry. Let's be real though, you could have all the right qualifications in the world, but to land your dream job, you got to nail that interview, right?
100%. The interview, that's your time to shine. Show them your passion, your knowledge, your experience.
What are some of those questions that aspiring telecommunications engineers should be ready for?
RoleCatcher has a bunch of common ones listed, but they usually come down to a few key things. Obviously, they're going to grill you on your technical chops. Be ready to explain concepts, talk about your experience with different technologies, maybe even solve a little network problem on the spot.
Think on your feet.
Exactly. But it's more than just knowing the tech stuff. They want to see how you communicate, how you solve problems, how you handle the pressure.
So the soft skills are still important, even in a technical field.
Huge. Be ready to talk about your experiences working on teams, handling tough projects, dealing with difficult clients. They want to know you can handle it all.
It's about connecting all those dots. Show them that your skills and experiences, both the technical and the people skills, make you a perfect fit for their team.
Exactly. And don't forget, come prepared with some insightful questions of your own. Shows you're genuinely interested.
What kind of questions make a good impression?
Don't be afraid to dig deeper. Ask about the company culture, how the team works together, the specific projects you might be working on. Maybe inquire about opportunities for professional development or their vision for the future of telecommunications. You want to show them you're thinking long-term, that you're invested in building a career, not just getting a job.
So let's say you totally crush the interview, get that job offer, congrats. What happens next? What's the typical career trajectory look like for a telecommunications engineer?
That's one of the best things about this field. There's so many paths you can take. You can start as an entry-level engineer and work your way up. Team lead, project manager, maybe even chief technology officer someday.
Sounds like a lot of room to climb if you're ambitious.
Absolutely. But maybe you're looking for a different kind of challenge. You could become a network architect, designing those massive telecommunication systems, or specialize in something like cybersecurity, cloud computing, the Internet of Things, stuff like that.
Right. And RoleCatcher mentions some telecommunications engineers even transition into consulting roles.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
As a consultant, you're basically a hired gun. Companies hire you to give them advice on their telecommunications strategy, how to make things better. You might help them optimize their networks, implement new technologies, navigate all the regulations.
So it's perfect if you like variety in your work and solving different problems for different clients.
Exactly. And hey, don't forget about the entrepreneurial route. Maybe you got a killer idea, a solid business plan. You could start your own telecommunications company.
So many possibilities. But with all these options, what's the best way to set yourself up for success? What advice would you give to someone starting out in this field?
Oh, that's a great question. And it deserves its own deep dive, actually.
So many possibilities, right. But it can also feel a little overwhelming. We've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked skills, certifications, different career paths. But what's the secret sauce? What can someone do to really stand out in this competitive job market?
It all comes back to never stop learning. This industry moves so fast, you got to be constantly leveling up your skills, staying ahead of the curve, make it a habit, new tech, industry trends, best practices. Always be learning.
Easier said than done. How do you even keep up with it all? Am I subscribing to every tech journal out there?
Find what works for you, right? But attending industry conferences is huge. That's where all the cool kids are, you know? You can immerse yourself in the latest stuff, network with other pros.
Networking is key.
It's everything. And don't underestimate those online learning platforms. Coursera, Udemy, they've got tons of courses on anything you can think of, network security, cloud computing, you name it.
It's like having a world-class education right there on your laptop.
Exactly. Oh, and professional organizations, those are gold. IEE, for example. They've got resources, mentorship programs, even job boards sometimes.
So networking is just as important as the technical stuff.
100%. The right connection can open doors, give you insights into different career paths, even just offer some support when things get tough, you know?
Totally. Okay, so you've got the skills, the certs, the network. Now what? How do you actually show off all that hard work to potential employers?
That's where that killer resume comes in. Think of it like your highlight reel, you know? All your best skills, your most impressive experience, nice and concise.
And what about a portfolio? Is that where you get to dive into those passion projects we talked about?
Bingo. The portfolio lets you go beyond just listing bullet points. This is your chance to show them what you can really do. Include detailed project descriptions, the challenges you faced, the creative solutions you came up with.
Show, don't tell, right?
Exactly. And get creative with it. It doesn't have to be some boring old binder. Build a website, develop an app, maybe even record some videos showcasing your skills.
The name of the game is to stand out. Make them remember you.
100%.
Well, this has been an awesome deep dive into the world of telecommunications engineering. We've covered so much ground: technical skills, career paths, the importance of networking. It's a lot to take in. But as we wrap up here, what's one final piece of advice you would give to someone who's feeling inspired, ready to take that leap into this exciting field?
My advice: be bold, be curious, and don't shy away from the unknown. This industry is constantly evolving, and it needs passionate, forward-thinking people like you to shape its future.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of telecommunications engineering. And to all you listeners out there, remember, the future is connected, and with the right skills, the right knowledge, and a whole lot of determination, you can be a part of building that future. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.